Hi, we're the Price family, and this is a Millennial adventure.
A common misconception about loneliness and about marriage is that marriage will cure your loneliness. And I'm here to tell you that's false. Maybe you weren't feeling lonely before you got married, but now you're married and the honeymoon's over and you're getting into the grind of life, and maybe you had this awesome, crazy life before you were married, and now you're feeling kind of lonely or isolated or disconnected from your spouse or your partner. There could be a couple of underlying things that could be causing the loneliness, not necessarily your spouse that's making you feel that way. So today we're going to talk about some different ways that you may be feeling alone and how you can combat that.
So if you're married and you're feeling alone, first of all, that's absolutely normal. Like, it is a very common thing. So don't feel like a bad person. Nothing's wrong with you. But the thing is you really shouldn't ignore that feeling of loneliness, because it could be trying to show you something that you need to handle or deal with. We're gonna be talking about, 4 different things that might be the reason why you're feeling lonely, and if they are, 4 ways to combat those feelings of loneliness.
So one of the things that could be making you feel lonely is a lack of intimacy in your marriage. Obviously, being intimate is a very important part of your marriage. So there could be a lot of reasons why you're not experiencing intimacy in your marriage. And intimacy is not just sex. It's also spending time together. It's connecting, not just surface level, but really opening up to each other, etc., etc., etc. But there could be a lot of reasons why you're experiencing a lack of intimacy. Maybe you aren't being physically intimate, and maybe you just are too busy and you're not making time for it. And all you parents know that once you have kids, you kind of have to pencil it in on your schedule. Like, okay, tomorrow when the kids go to bed, it's going down. Another reason why you could be experiencing a lack of intimacy is maybe you or your spouse are not really wanting to open up. Maybe there's a deeper issue there that you're not wanting to kind of expose your soul to each other for maybe some hurt or some pain, or there's another deeper reason why you're not experiencing that.
Yeah, secrets kill intimacy. The other thing that can make you feel really lonely is a change in routine. So this can be anything from adding a kid into your life, that's a change in routine.
Mm-hmm.
Your husband or your wife gets a new job, maybe slightly different office hours. Maybe you guys, moved into a new house, or the, other friends who used to be in your life moved away. Sometimes when you just have a change in schedule, that kind of breeds a feeling of loneliness, because you're not in the place you feel comfortable and familiar.
Another reason why you could be feeling lonely is you've experienced a big life change of some sort recently. So for us, we first got married. Jonathan had moved to Pennsylvania right before we got married. And so the second the honeymoon was over, we were basically up with a bunch of kids in summer camp, completely separated from each other, didn't know a single soul. So
yeah,
it was crazy.
We literally stepped off the plane from our Harry Potter World honeymoon, and then we stepped right onto a summer campground, and all our youth students who were new youth at the time were like, "Oh, you just got back from your honeymoon."
Especially the first couple months that we were in Pennsylvania, not only did we not know anybody, but Jonathan had started his new job, so he was in the thick of it. He started to make friends. He's never had an issue with just kind of adapting and changing to his new environment. Me, not so much. Totally different environment than I've ever lived in. No family around, no friends yet. So I'm stuck in the house all by myself all day long for months. And Jonathan would come home and tell me all these fun stories about what he did that day. And I just was like, well, all I did was watch Netflix and clean the house for the 3rd time today, and I'm just so lonely.
And the 4th reason why you might be feeling lonely is because of a hectic life schedule. Even though you guys get married, now you've tacked on somebody else's life schedule into your schedule. We had the pastors who did our premarital counseling, Pastor Lionel, He told us that, you know, when two people are single, so they have two different movies going two different directions, and when they get married, those two movies have to join and become one movie. So you basically go from being like Iron Man and Thor, and then you gotta become Avengers Endgame. Basically what happens.
Oh my God.
But no, so when that happens, you now have to basically take their story and your story and you morph it together, and sometimes it creates a really convoluted plot. And when that happens, you can have moments where you start to miss each other in the process of trying to figure out your lives.
So now that you've heard a few of the reasons why you may be feeling lonely in your marriage, we're gonna give you 4 ways that you can battle the feelings of isolation and loneliness in your marriage. So the first way is to prioritize intimacy. Make it a point in your day, in your week, in your month, whatever it may be, however it works for you and your spouse, to set aside time to just be intimate, whether that be physical, whether that be emotional, spiritual, verbally. So whether it may be physical or not, make sure that you prioritize intimacy with your spouse.
Another way to combat loneliness is by doing chores and other activities together. So instead of going out on a big date, maybe you guys do something simple like a chore or an activity together. Hey, we could really use, you know, a bathroom clean. Let's clean the bathroom together. Or sometimes Anna and I will be like, you know, man, we really need to get this garage cleared out, so we'll clear the garage out. And we find that sometimes just doing a small activity together, whether it be a chore or a little fixer-upper or a little brief free activity, A, it saves your wallet, and B, it's really just that bonding time of working together that you need sometimes to feel like you're not lonely, like you have someone to do life with. The third way to also combat loneliness is by putting the kids to bed and doing something when you have the house all to yourself. So sometimes Anna and I, when we have this chore all day, we'll get together and we'll play Uno, or we'll play some type of card game. Maybe you guys just sit down and you just talk about your day, and you pour a little glass of a beverage or something.
The last thing that's super important for how to battle the isolation, the disconnection, and the loneliness that you're feeling is to communicate. And honestly, 99.9999867% of your issues in your marriage can be solved with communication. Oh!
Don't hate, communicate.
But really, communicate. If you're feeling lonely, tell your spouse. And spouses, if your spouse tells you that that's how they're feeling, don't get defensive, because most likely you're not even the reason why they're feeling lonely. And if you are the reason why that they're feeling lonely, then you might not even be doing it on purpose. So come into the conversation with an open heart, hear them out. If they're feeling lonely, help them figure out what's causing the loneliness and how you can both come together, remedy it, and connect and feel better. So now that you've seen this video and you've heard all the things that could cause your loneliness and how you could combat the loneliness, ask yourself if you're experiencing one of these 4 reasons why you could be feeling lonely, and then once you figured out why you're feeling lonely, then take one of these 4 ways to combat it and put it into practice.
And if you're watching this video and it really meant something to you, or if you have somebody in your life who you're like, ooh, they're married and they're really feeling lonely, share this video with them. So share this video. If you've got any more questions, feel free to comment down below or to message us on our social media channels.
Thanks so much for watching today. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe, and share, and follow along with us in this millennial adventure.